What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex. I'm once again joined by Tyler, and we are back for another video in our Pirates of the Caribbean Community Series, a series that goes up every other Friday at noon Eastern Standard Time. We're back. We're new and improved. We have a new opening video that Tyler made. Very, very nice to kind of elevate Pirates just up to the level of all our other community series where we have those videos playing in the beginning. And we want to talk about Pirates 6 again. We talked 2 weeks ago about the basic leak that Pirates 6 has been giving the green light by Disney to go ahead. I made that video by myself. Tyler is back, and we want to talk about something a bit more depressing in terms of the Pirates of the Caribbean universe. We're going to talk about Johnny Depp in terms of Pirates 6. So there's obviously a lot of things going on with Johnny Depp as a human being and what that could mean for Pirates 6 when it actually comes out. We've seen what Disney's been doing recently with people that are connected to their studios, and we want to basically ask the question: will Johnny Depp even make it to be into Pirates 6 as Jack Sparrow? So I'm gonna hand over to Tyler. Tyler, what do you think? With this James Gunn situation that's been going on, how do you think that could affect Johnny Depp, and when will it actually affect Johnny Depp going forward?
Well, I know that you probably know a lot more about Johnny Depp than I do. With the James Gunn stuff, I mean, the guy, I don't care what you have to say, honestly, about that, because the guy should be fired. You can't just have 10,000 tweets saying weird stuff about what you are going to do or would do to a little boy. That's never acceptable. There's never, you could say, well, that was 10 years ago. I don't think it ever becomes funny to joke about doing sexual stuff to little kids. That never stops being starts with a P word, ends with Ilya, and then becomes a joke later on. That does not happen. And shouldn't. If you think it does, then sorry, but you're wrong. And then let alone the pictures that he took and what he said about his own daughter. But anyways, so with that stuff, yeah, he should be fired. But now, because Disney's done that, and the most important thing, don't forget, is Guardians of the Galaxy for Marvel, which is Disney. For Marvel, Guardians of the Galaxy is one of the largest, they have a lot of fans. Guardians of the Galaxy is probably, next to the Avengers and Captain America and Thor now, not before, but now, Guardians of the Galaxy definitely has and drew in the most fans before. And the funny thing about it is nobody even knew what the Guardians of the Galaxy was before the movie. Literally. They're like, why are they even making this movie? And now everybody loves it, and everybody knows Groot and Rocket and everybody knows them. And why is that important? Because, so they fired James Gunn. Then there was talk they might bring him back, and I remember I said to Alex and his sister, no way. They absolutely won't, and they didn't. They confirmed that they are not. And that's important because Batista, Chris Pratt's not really saying much, because he's smart. But Batista is kind of making he's trolling Disney, and he's kind of saying if you don't use the script, I'm not coming back or whatever. And my opinion is they're going to revise a lot of his script. So if Batista's out, he's out. But why is that important? Because clearly Disney they don't really care too much about what the actors have to say about it. And they're not too concerned about, how many fans will be upset, because they're the ones that have a very large corporation, and they're the ones that take the beatings with the shareholders and all that stuff, as well as you can't have a company where you're going to have a dude who says stuff that we were talking about earlier and have him on payroll where he's making hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars, which actually for James Gunn's case, it is millions of dollars. So you can't have somebody who should get in trouble for talking about stuff like that and have him making millions of dollars. Now, how does that relate to Pirates of the Caribbean? Well, Johnny Depp, because of the way he can be, is Johnny Depp, not as Jack Sparrow, even though sometimes the line is blurred a little. He's already said some stuff, not along those lines, thank God, because I would lose respect for the guy, to be honest. I did for James Gunn. He wished me a happy birthday. That hurts. But, because now I wonder if he thought I was like a 5-year-old kid. But anyway, for Johnny Depp, I feel like because he doesn't like Trump, and I really don't care if somebody likes Trump or doesn't like Trump. But he'll say stuff about Trump or this or that. But what I know, and I think Alex knows, is I've read reports like he's been at I don't know what they are, like parties or bars. I'm not even sure what the 50-year-old people that look like they're 30 do nowadays. But like walking around, he's got white powder all over his nose and stuff. We all know what that means. He's snorting flour. Okay, he's in the kitchen baking cookies, and he snorts a little bit of flour. That's what he's doing. But when you hear that kind of stuff, and then if it's true about what he's done with his wife Amber Heard, if he truly did beat her up and all that kind of stuff, and as that goes forward and we find out more information or not, it kind of makes it difficult for Disney to be able to say, well, we got rid of somebody because of what they've said on Twitter, but we're going to keep somebody even though he may have beat up his wife and he's a drug addict. It kind of becomes like, well, then maybe you should like rehire James Gunn, which again, we already know that they won't do. So why are we talking about this? Because I kind of feel like Disney's in a really... I almost feel like Disney's kind of hoping nobody brings up Johnny Depp. That's how I feel. Because I feel like they wouldn't quite know how to respond to like, well, how can you be okay with having somebody who may have or who's accused of beating up his own wife? And it's kind of like, well, we're going to have to just see what comes out of that case. Right? So, but is that like the best answer? I don't know. So, it's just, I don't know. Now, for whether or not I think he'll be fired, myself, Tyler, I don't believe that he'll be fired, but I do believe because of this kind of stuff that Johnny Depp and Jack Sparrow, the character, I think this would be the last Pirates of the Caribbean movie for them. I think Pirates of the Caribbean would continue after, but because of this kind of stuff and these kind of almost difficult times for these studios where you're kind of having to deal with like these people who just do and say stupid stuff, but then you kind of have to deal with it, and it's kind of a big deal. I think it's just better for them to kind of finish up with him and like kind of just move on. But yeah, the whole situation, I don't know. I'm happy there's going to be another Pirates of the Caribbean. I really am. Because 5 I thought was like a big step up from 4. And I'm excited to see how it goes. But I'm just hoping that Johnny Depp, like, just they keep him like on a tight leash so that they don't like announce it next August and then he does something or whatever. Then all of a sudden they have to fire him and it's like, okay, now we're gonna have to suspend Pirates of the Caribbean and decide if we're gonna move forward. It's like, oh, come on. Which that literally, I'm not kidding, that actually could happen. We could literally get an announcement in August and then that September Johnny Depp does something or beats somebody else up or whatever. And then they, suspend it indefinitely. And trust me, if that happened, let me just say this, then I want to hear what Alex has to say. If that happened, Pirates of the Caribbean's last movie is Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Men Tell No Tales. I can promise you that.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I think Tyler nailed it with the whole like not bringing him up. I really do feel like when it comes to him and when it comes to this past situation, like Guardians 3 is totally messed up. Didn't they say they're delaying it now? Like it's delayed. So like there's a lot of stuff going on there, and just like Tyler said, I feel like with this situation, I feel like Disney really is in that situation where they're like, please don't do anything else. We'll try and bury the past. Don't ever do it again, or hopefully you never did in the first place. And we will keep you under, we're going to keep you low, and then we'll announce Pirates 6, you come back, you do your thing, and then we're done. Like, we're cutting ties with you. You'll get paid your millions upon millions. You'll get paid your $50 to $70 million, but then we're done. Because they really are, like you said, in a very, very tough spot where I'm sure they want to. People like him. For all the bad stuff he's done, he's a very likable person. And even from the past, like he's an actor that a lot of people, even a lot of women really, really, really like. And so as Jack Sparrow, he's obviously done a lot of things for that franchise. We've talked about what he's meant to them in the past in all of the movies. He's a big part. So I do feel like, in a way, they owe him the fact that they should give him a closure, but he needs to owe them, and he needs to show them that I'm done doing whatever I did in the past. It never happened, or it was way overblown, and like I'm going to behave, and then we're gonna do Pirates 6, and then I'm done. Even though it does seem like he always has a blast playing Jack Sparrow, and probably would do it over and over again, even into when he gets super old. But that just doesn't work for the film. But No, I definitely agree. I feel like he hopefully won't do anything else. And then, like you said, I think when it comes down to the question, will he be fired or not? I don't. I agree with Tyler. I don't think he'll be fired. I think they're going to play it very, very safe with him. Hopefully he cuts it all out, and then we'll see him next August when they announce it. He'll come out. They'll do whatever. They'll film it. Done. It comes out. It's over. And it will be, like Tyler said, their last journey. The last time we see that character, which sucks. But at the same time, like Tyler said, like this is these studios have to make these decisions, and they're very, very tough decisions. Obviously, I don't think that was an easy decision doing what they did with James Gunn and doubling down on it. So, but I think with that, no one's safe. Johnny Depp is definitely not safe. Maybe before this situation, you would think like nothing would happen, but now after this, I definitely think there's no untouchables in terms of who they can or cannot fire.
So, because I'm sure someone in the comment section is going to say, but what about Warner Brothers having Johnny Depp in their Fantastic Beasts series? You're 100% right to question that, and I think they're questioning that also, because there's going to be, I forgot, I'm pretty sure I read there's supposed to be like 5 or 6 of those Fantastic Beasts movies, and he's going to be in almost all of them. And they probably are a little bit nervous because I feel like did they get the right guy? Yeah, they did, but they technically could have gotten anybody for that role. Nobody knows who this character is because, it's from a book that like nobody read. So he could they could get anybody to act, come up with their own version of this character, because it's not like they're having to recreate Harry Potter. It's a whole new character. And again, I like Johnny Depp. He does a good job. He looks like he's going to do a really good job with this character. But having said that, I'm sure Warner Brothers is like, please, please, please don't come out that you beat up your wife. Please don't, and please don't come out like, if you have like an overdose or something, because that literally would, I don't know honestly what they would do, because it's not like Professor Dumbledore, who he was in 2 movies, and the guy, because he was like 90 years old, he died, and then luckily they still had 3 through 8 with this new Dumbledore, well before he ever even like had to really like move around. And this is how I'm going to connect it, because Alex and I have talked about this. With that original Dumbledore, with the fight that he has with Voldemort in the 5th Harry Potter movie, I can't for the life of me picture that old man. And I like that old man. He was a very nice old man. I'd like him to be my grandfather. I can't for the life of me, though, picture that man moving so quickly, fighting. Literally like 5 or 6 years later, like from that, the second movie filming. So that was like a poor casting decision, in my opinion. So Warner Brothers has done that before. Not to mention, you look at some of the cast that they did for the DC heroes. Like, in my opinion, Ezra Miller for Flash, that I just don't think that is the right choice. So what I'm saying is they do these casting things that they think will pan out, and a lot of times they don't. And what ends up happening a lot of times, especially for Warner Brothers, is they do end up kind of eating it. They're eating it big time with the DC stuff. Right now they're not really eating it too much with the new Harry Potter series, but if Johnny Depp does something, they're going to eat it big time, because they're going to have to. They would fire him and trust me, anybody would fire him, because you cannot have your studio associated with that kind of stuff, because not only will no actor will want to. This is why no actor will want to work with you, because it makes it where if you are an actor that might have done something very small, but now you get in the habit of like, well, this person did this and now they're fired, and then because of the world of the media and scrutinizing so easily with social media, eventually it becomes, because somebody picked their nose, they have to get fired. So it becomes this environment where it makes it very hard to work for that studio, because everybody's under a big spotlight. So it's easier just to remove that person, and then you don't have to really worry about that stuff. So for the people who are wondering, like, well, what about them with Fantastic Beasts? He's going to be in it. You know what? Trust me. That's fine. He can be making that, and he can be Jack Sparrow. But if he does something, or if something comes out, and if Disney says, this is the last Johnny Depp movie, or last Jack Sparrow Pirates of the Caribbean, I can guarantee you Warner Brothers is going to be like, you know what? We better start looking for a new Grimswald or whatever, however you say his name. Or we're going to have to change the script where he's not in it after. He's the other, let's say, 3 movies that he was going to be in, he ain't in. So, and the only reason I'm saying that is don't think, I'm being biased and I'm forgetting certain stuff. I'm not. I'm just letting you know if it happens with Disney, it's going to happen with any other studio that he's in. Because if something comes out, he will not really have a job. And it's because the studios cannot associate themselves with this kind of stuff. James Gunn, everybody's making like he'll get a job really easy, but I can guarantee you he will. He'll make a movie and not too many people will go, and then after that, he'll have a very hard time getting a job again. And that's what will happen if Johnny Depp, if it's true, we don't even know. But I'm just saying, if that happens, he'll make maybe one movie, kind of like that one mob movie, and then that'll be his last movie ever. So I'm just letting you know, I'm not dumb. We didn't forget. Hopefully you listen this far.
So let us know what you guys think about Johnny Depp's situation. Do you think he'll actually return in Pirates 6, or do you think maybe Disney would end up firing him, and what his future could be? Let us know in the comments below. And again, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, podcast. Now, these Pirates of the Caribbean Community Series videos go up every other Friday at noon Eastern Standard Time. In 2 weeks, we will be back for another video, and we hope to see you guys there.